Okay, so I'm about to try to tell y'all this as quickly as possible. I'm not doing the shit to them, but my shit's sitting right there. People said they ain't mine, but I'm not trying to focus on the people that's here at the pumps or whatever they're doing or anything. I just want to show y'all to see what is HPD over here doing. They always trying to act like they messing with the roads and stuff, and child, they done did so much stuff to me out here in Houston. These people done did so much stuff to me. But I gotta go ahead and tell y'all what they just tried to cut the camera off on me, because Austin had got arrested in December 2015 and December 2016. So you see what I'm saying? I met him in 2015, and he assaulted me. He assaulted me in an apartment that we had got together at 230 Avenue G in CONROE, Texas in 2015. And he was charged. There was a white man that had reported Austin attacking me in the apartment that we had together. In December 2015, it was December 20th, the day before my birthday. My birthday is December 21st. So the day before my birthday in 2015, Mr. Chuck, a white man, and I don't know what they're doing, but they got this whole damn thing blocked off, and they got this whole goddamn thing blocked off as well, and hopefully they having my back instead of, because these gangs was up here, and I'm posting that shit, and everybody is watching my channels. Please don't try to set me up while I'm trying to get information out about my kids' safety, and I'm not playing. So anyway, so Austin had got arrested because he had already been assaulting me all the way. We had just met October 2015 through a girl named Ashaya and a dude named CJ in Magnolia, Texas, Stephania daughter's friend. Her son's friend, and I'm Stephania's daughter's friend. And so I met Austin like that, my white baby daddy, in Magnolia, Texas, through CJ, and they had already told me, Stephania's daughter, Dejanay, and had already told me, or Bianca, one of them had told me, and Ashaya, that there was rumors going around Magnolia, Texas, that Austin was violent. And I got introduced to Austin because he came over to Stephania's home, and I was living with Stephania, and I was working to take care of her because she had epilepsy, and she was letting me live there. And I had stayed in the Grand Estates over there and had my own apartment in the Grand Estates Woodlands with inheritance money that my mother left me when she died. And I stayed there 2 years. I had $100,000, and I stayed there, and I ended up moving in with a girl that I met out there, because I ended up just falling on hard times. But Larissa Shakina, that's letting everybody set me up like a mental patient, called me asking for money for rent and all that from my money, from my inheritance that my mama left me. And I needed that shit for my rent. And I had a job at Starbucks, and I had a job at Whataburger, and I had my money from my inheritance. And I had sent them some money because I had sold my car, and I was on bad times, but my jobs was right there by my house, and I had money for my bills, and they was calling me asking me for money, and I got such a big heart, I knew I needed it for my rent, and I gave it to them, and then got evicted thinking that they would allow me to come to their home, and they didn't even offer. So CJ mama Stephania had offered for me to come inside, because CJ had helped me move out of the Grand Estates, and he had been coming over there, like being my friend, staying over there, like, you know, chilling with me. And Ashaya, me and her were kicking here and there, and I used to do her hair. Oh, well, I ain't do her hair like that. She ain't like when I do her hair, but I did her hair like once. And so anyway, we were cool, and I came to stay in their home because CJ had seen how my family was doing me, and he said, come to my house and just chill over here after he helped me move out. I had moved my stuff into storage on 1488 Road, and I paid for storage, and we had a U-Haul, and CJ went with me to get all the stuff off the truck. And none of my family was there, just CJ, me and CJ. We moved everything together. And I had movers move everything into the house, and CJ, when I came, and CJ had moved me out. It was my unit, 1 bedroom, whatever. We'll get to that. So Cynthia knew that I was not no mental patient when she met me, and my family know that I was not no mental patient, and everybody in Montgomery County, Texas, know that I was not no mental patient, and I was an heiress. I had inherited $100,000, and they knew who the hell I was, and I don't appreciate them trying to get on my channel calling me no mental patient, because them white people got out there and started abusing me. He came over to Stephania home. I was taking care of her. Stephania said she was gonna hire me as a care provider, because when CJ invited me over after I moved my stuff out of the Grand Estates, Stephania saw that I was finna leave and had nowhere to go, because me and him just chilled over there, and I wasn't finna have I didn't have no money, I didn't have nothing. And I had, been looking out for everybody else that didn't even care about me. As y'all can see, who should have been asking me for any money? Who? Don't nobody give a damn about me. They shouldn't have been calling me, asking me for shit, messing up my fucking life. And I had never been pregnant before, ever in my life. And so my sisters had kids, and I wanted a child, but I had never been pregnant before. And so Stephania had seen me about to leave their house after I had moved from the Grand Estates, and she was like, said she felt bad. She was like, my husband said that you could stay with us as a caregiver for me because I have epilepsy and my kids be real busy, and I kind of need somebody here to kind of care for me, and I'll give you a $200 allowance and then get you signed up through the state so you can actually get paid as my caregiver. And I wanted to go to medical school to be an anesthesiologist. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it, because that's going to help me, and it's going to help my record, because I want to go to medical school. And so Stephania and me did this, and I moved in. I just started staying in Dejanay's old room because Dejanay had moved in with her homegirl, and Bianca was there, Ashaya was there. No, Ashaya there? I think Ashaya was living somewhere else. But I know, I think Bianca was there, Man was there, I was there, CJ was there, Stephania, her husband, and I was caring for the whole house, because I washed the dishes, clean up after her kids, stuff that she usually would be able to do for her family, but because she had a little, ailment, disability, I don't want to say epilepsy is like something real bad, but it can cause you to not be able to do the normal things you're supposed to be able to do. So Stephania will be laying down, and she'll ask me, can you do this and do that? And I felt like she was kind of an Egyptian now, and I felt like she was kind of starting to use me because she had agreed to give me $200, and now she wasn't giving me anything. Then I started selling my furniture, and she started coming to take my stuff that I was selling, and then trying to stop me from buying food up in her house and telling me that I couldn't eat her stuff. And then she told me I would have off days, and then didn't want me to go work nowhere else, and didn't want me to go nowhere on my off days. She started getting very nasty with me, and I had only been there for like a week. She was telling me I could get off at a certain time and was working me to damn near midnight, and then waking me up before the time she was telling me I had to start, and then just being real nasty to me. And her daughter had told me that I could see her car and that she would allow me to go to the grocery store. And I went to the grocery store, and I came back with the groceries, and all of a sudden Stephania don't let Andrea see your car no more. And I was going, Stephania, when I had my car before I sold my car for the week, and they would start asking me for my money, and my jobs and stuff was right there next to my home. Stephania was asking me to take her places, saying that she couldn't drive because she might have a seizure from the epilepsy. And I would take Stephania, and I took her son wherever he wanted to go if he needed, so I let him hang with me, come to my house. So that was a slap in my face when all I needed to do was go to Walmart and get food, and you over here telling your child in a little cheap ass fucking car. Man, I done had a nice ass shit, brand new shit, and let Stephania ride around in my shit. And so for her to sit around, I drove her, but still, for you to try to say that your little daughter that's a little child can't let a grown-ass woman go to Walmart that used to take you places, and they're taking care of you, and she didn't mind letting me use the car, but you gonna say, no, you was just mistreating me. And I said, I feel like I'm an Egyptian slave, that I done been turned into an Egyptian slave. And they was being racist to me at my job, saying they didn't hire black people, and the other ones didn't respect the day that I needed off. And so I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm not finna be mistreated by these people out here, and I'm about to leave this city, because once you make me throw my Bible in the water, in the ditch, because y'all mistreated me so bad, and I had guns in my house because I had hundreds of thousands of dollars. I had $100,000. So I didn't have the whole 100 no more, because I spent a lot of it, but I had money. So I had a shotgun in my closet that I owned and bought from Academy, the little girly kind, and I had a 380 in my closet. And men was wanting to rob me and come up in the house and see I had guns, and then they'll back up. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, never mind, don't rob her, because if you would have robbed her, you didn't know she was gonna blow you. She was gonna shoot you, bruh. So people got to know me, and I sold my guns before I came in Stephania home. Well, I had one pistol that I kept, and Stephania was trying to fight me and jump me up in the house with CJ, because I didn't want CJ, and Austin had came over. Austin came over knocking on the door while I was working for Stephania as a maid, and I basically was a slave now at this point. And turns out we in Egypt, and I was right. They had made me an Egyptian fucking slave. And then she had me up in there thinking she was going to tell me I could stay there under certain rules. If that was the case, you could have just let me walk out your door, because I was always a hustler. I was going to go sell my shit and make money just like I did when I was in her house. And you can ask all the Hispanics that I sold all my furniture to. I had deals in that $100 could get you some shit that I paid $2,000 for. They was coming and buying that shit up. I'm making $100, $200-300 a day. What the fuck you mean? That you not gonna let me to make no money in your house, and you not gonna have the agreement that you said to give me an allowance and then try to stop me from having anything. It was like slavery. And then Austin showed up, and I was like, oh damn. There's a white dude at the door for you, CJ. And he was kind of skinny, little do-rag on, trying to, he had put on a do-rag after he seen me, like he was trying to, fake for me or something. But at first, he had came over with like a regular white dude. And now I regret ever seeing his face. I loved my son by him, but now that I know what type of person he really was, to threaten to make my baby give him oral sex. I love my baby, but for you to threaten to rape my child, all right, let me just go in and get into this. So he came knocking on the door and asking for CJ and saying he was CJ friend, and had start crushing on me, and I told him he was too young. I said, Austin, you too young. And then he was lying to me about his age. And he did look the age that he told me that he was. He told me he was 21 and I was 24. So I told him he was too young for me when he lied to me. I said, nah, you too young for me. And he said there was rumors that he was violent when they saw he was crushing on me. All the girls was like, oh no, Austin is violent. You don't need to get with him. Because I told him, I said, if you really think that they should allow you to talk to me, because all the men in the house was having a little issue with Austin trying to get with me. And I said, you're going to have to tell these black men up in here that you like me and that you want to date me. Because he had taken me to the park and acting like pouring his heart out like, I want to be your man, I want to be your boyfriend. I said, Austin, you too young for me. That's what I told him. And then he said, no, I want to love you. I want to be with you. I said, Austin, if you really like me, and if you really want a chance, I told him about my goals. I'm trying to go to school, I said, and I ain't want no kids until I finish medical school. So I was like, okay, Austin, if I give you a chance, I want a long-term partner. I said, I'm 24 years old. Everything that you could be doing at 21, I done did it. And I said, and I don't want no just fling where I'm having sex with you and then that's it. I said, if I get with a man, I want it to be long-term. I'm 24. You see what I'm saying? And I think you're too young for me, Austin. And he was like, I promise I'm going to be with you and be faithful to you. And I'll never trust, you know, all this bullshit. And I didn't have nobody but a whole bunch of people up in there on some bullshit up in Stefania's house, making it seem like, oh, you just let me stay up in your house. That's cool, though. And I got in that situation because everybody was fucking using me before I even got to Stefania's house. Everybody in my life was using me. And I was a Christian, so I felt like because I was blessed that I had to bless them. Turns out these nasty-ass people wouldn't even come forward with information that I'm pregnant and that he did this to me. You know how many people I done blessed when I got paid up in Texas? So anyway, I regret that. I'll never ever fucking do it again. If God ever bless me with some money, I'll never help y'all with shit. What y'all did to my baby, and y'all threatened to rape my baby for this nasty ass white man. First of all, I'm gonna tell you what Austin started doing. So Austin, I said, Austin, if you really feel that way about me and you'll be faithful, I said, I'll give you a chance. That's what I told him. And I did. And so we had started talking. Like as friends, but like dating a little bit. And he walked me back from the park that night that I agreed to kind of be his little woman if he told these other black men that he liked me and see what they say. That's what I told him. If you really like me, it's men up in that house that like me, or it's men that's associated with CJ and you know Shia brother like me. I said, and I didn't like them. I didn't like him. I didn't want a Shia brother like that. We was friends, and he knew that because he had already tried it. But with Austin, I was like, maybe I might could work with him. And I said, but Austin, I don't date men that's on meth. Because he said he had been using, but he was clean. And he said, oh, I'm clean, I promise. That's what he was saying. So, Stefania did not really like Austin coming around, and then she knew something about Austin's spirit, and his sister, CJ's sisters, warned me and was like, Andrea, we heard things about Austin that he is violent, with his ex-girlfriend Bree, and I called Bree on the phone. Because I'm not the type of person, if somebody warned me about it, man, I'm not going to listen. And so I called Bree, and I asked Bree, I said, Bree, this is Andrea, Shia's friend, and I want to know, has Austin ever been violent with you? And she was dating somebody else, and turns out he was, but she was acting like it wasn't no big deal and said that he pushed her down on the ground. And then she started laughing. And I don't do that abusing me bullshit. But then she tried to make it seem like, oh, they was just playing. But a man pushing you on the ground is not. But she still kind of lied to me. But I should have took that into consideration, that he pushed her on the ground, period. Turns out he telling me that he was over there hitting girls in the head with bricks and doing all kind of stuff after we done been together for a long period of time. But he never told me none of this. He said that he wasn't abusing nobody. He lied. And he started abusing me from Stefania's home. And he started he asked me the night we started talking. He said, can you sneak me in Stefania home? Because I'm sleeping on the park bench that he just asked me to date him. He asked me would I go to the park with him, would I go for a walk with him. I went. He took me to the park in front of Stefania neighborhood, in the Shia neighborhood, and we talked, and he asked to be my man, and we had that long talk about how I was saying I wanted a real man and he was too young. And so Austin and I started talking. I told him, you're going to have to ask these men how they feel. If you really want to be with me, then I want you to tell the people who you met me through and see how they feel about you talking to their friend. And they wasn't like, You know, like, people were like, well, what he going to do for you? You know, and he asked me to sneak him inside of Stefania's home and said that he was sleeping on the bench. So that just made me feel like, okay, see, and he was asking me for money too. That reminds me, before he asked me to be his girlfriend, that was another thing that made me not really want to talk to him, because I was a hustler and I was selling my furniture. I was about to start selling clothes on apps and stuff. You know, I was like, shoot, I got stuff, I can sell it. And I'm going to have some money, and I did have a few dollars for myself just to get food, but it wasn't enough for Austin to be coming over there asking me for stuff. And Austin was coming over and starting to ask me for money, and I gave him a couple of dollars. Then he trying to act like he liked me now, and he looking like he on drugs. And then I looked at Austin, and he was looking skinny. And I was thinking to myself, I said, I bet you these dope boys out here is fucking Austin. And he over here thinking that if he come to me and make me feel like he like me, that I'm gonna give him my money. And I was like, I'll give you a couple of dollars, because I don't got enough money to eat. I'm trying to hustle, and I was gonna hustle, and I was a hustler, but it was gonna be for me. And I said, and I don't like people trying to give me their ass or their dick or their mouth for no money. Cause one thing is, Andrea Jones could pull nigga all day long, and I could get some money up out of them. I don't like people coming up trying to use me and then want to be slick about it. I'd rather you be like, hey, let me just give you some head, and then let me get this. And I'm like, nah, I ain't finna pay you for no head. I can get my pussy ate for free. If it's real good, I'm not finna do that, because I felt like that'll be taking advantage of Austin, and I wasn't even attracted to him. He was skinny. He was on that shit, and he was coming over like that. He looked clean sometimes, but then the other day he just looked skinny as hell, and you could tell he was fucked up on that shit. And I ain't want that. I ain't want that. And he over there trying to butter up on me, like, yeah, let me get some money, girl. I like you. I want you to be my girlfriend. But when he met me, he said he was fucked up about Bree, because Bree left him for another man because she found out that he was doing meth. And the pictures of him is he was a good white boy at first in school, and then got grown and got fucked up on meth and turned into a goddamn thug that was walking around skinny and getting taken advantage of. But it was Cynthia's fault, because she let them folks put them needles up in his arm over there in her neighborhood when he was 14, giving him that meth and molesting Austin, and she knows about it, and they all pedophiles over there, and she gonna give me my baby, and she better give me my child alive. But anyway, I ain't know all this was going on now, but I knew that somebody was probably taking advantage of Austin off rip. The way he looked, I knew them. I know black men that sell dope. And there's some of them out there that's going to take advantage of that white boy. And I know, because we from the hood. I'm from the south side of Chicago, ATL, Georgia. And if you do meth, we don't talk to you where I'm from, because we know you a lame. And that's why I told him to step the fuck out for me. And I gave him a couple dollars and said, I ain't finna take advantage of you, because I already knew the dope boys was doing it. What the fuck do I want with a nigga that's getting fucked by dope boys? And there's more to the story, but my storage is getting full. So I'm going to have to allow, let me calm down, I'm going to calm down.